Hi friends, back to my channel. Before I start on today's video, I would just like to respectfully ask to like, subscribe, click that bell notification for future videos, as and join me as I dive into the challenges of exploring how social norms impact the lives of people with disabilities. Can I shed light on these hidden struggles? Let's find out. Social norms shape our understanding of what is considered normal in our culture. And for people with disabilities, these norms can be especially limiting. They often perpetuate harmful stereotypes, stifle opportunities, and create barriers, and they can prevent individuals from fully participating in society. Today, we're going to explore the ways in which social norms affect people with disabilities, and not just disabilities, but mental health and mental diagnosis, and why it's so important that we work to change them. First, the word normal is a curious one. Normal denotes standard, typical, usual, and expected. People with disabilities are deemed as not normal. Normal to who and what standards? Society? What is standard in the human appearance, characteristics, actions, health? Even when cops pull over someone that has slurred speech or odd speech, as I like to phrase it, they believe they are not acting normal. May you get out of your car and do a DUI test or a field sobriety test? You're not acting in accordance with normal, and you failed the test because you're not. They're not around them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There is only one standard that I would consider normal for citizens. You know what that is? That we are all alive. Not all people have two arms, both legs, perfect balance, great sight, immaculate hearing. Not all people are black, Asian, rich, poor, technically based, perfect health, white, great beauty. When we use they are not normal, we are actually comparing someone to how we act, how we reason, and how we think, and how we determine someone's guilt or innocence, which leads to discrimination. Probably also a reason why we have so many wrongful convictions in this country, in the judicial system. Discrimination is a major obstacle faced by people with disabilities. It can manifest in many ways, from overt discrimination in the workplace to more subtle basis in our language and media. For example, think about how often we use ableist language without even realizing it. Phrases like lame, crazy, or even retard. They're odd, they're strange, they're crazy, they're cuckoo. That happened to one of my friends when we were working together at a company. One of the people that I worked with, when we were going out, we were getting wrapping up for the day, said that, "Have you seen the new retarded janitor that we just hired?" And I said, "Don't ever say that word around me, because tell you what I've discovered. You call that person retard, you call that person crazy, you call that person strange, you call that person odd. I have discovered most of the people that I've met with a disability that are strange, odd, crazy, retarded are more normal, more human, and more friendly than any of the people that I've come across that would consider themselves intelligent or normal." This perpetuates negative stereotypes and contributes to a culture of disrespect. When we use language that demeans or devalues people with disabilities or mental health issues, we reinforce harmful attitudes that can have a real world consequence. Another significant challenge people with disabilities face is the lack of accessibility. This can be anything from physical barriers like wheelchair inaccessibility buildings to digital barriers like websites that are compatible with screen readers. When we fail to make our spaces and systems accessible, we exclude people with disabilities from participating fully in society. It's not just about ramps and elevators, it's about creating a culture and that values diversity and inclusion. Thankfully, there has been some progress, but we're still a long way off. Societal misconceptions about disabilities are also a major hurdle. Many people with disabilities look at it as a tragedy. Societal misconceptions about disabilities are also a major hurdle. Many people still view disability as a tragedy or a burden, or maybe dangerous to society if you're in the judicial system. Burden to who? Um, Society, because you don't want to take the time to understand or listen to the people that actually go through these experiences, rather than being a natural part of the human experience. This can lead to pity or inspirational porn or prosecuting someone because of a crime they committed because of the fact that you don't understand what they're going through, particularly if the family is involved. I've got a couple videos regarding the case of Carly Gregg where I point out that simple fact rather than respect and solidarity. When we become when we believe that people with disabilities are somehow broken or less capable, we deny them their autonomy and agency. We need to recognize that disability is a natural part of life and that people with disabilities are just as deserving of respect, dignity, and the opportunity to succeed as anyone else in this country. Many people with disabilities face significant barriers to employment too, from inaccessible workplaces to bias in the hiring process. It can be incredibly difficult for people with disabilities or mental problems to find a job. This isn't just a personal problem, it's a social justice issue. When we exclude people with disabilities from the workforce, we deprive them of economic security, social connections, and a sense of purpose. In education, people with disabilities often face a lack of accommodation and support. This can make it difficult for people to succeed in school, when can which can have a long-term consequence for their future prospects. It's not just about providing extra help or accommodations. It's about creating a learning environment that values diversity and inclusivity. When we fail to do so, we risk leaving people with disabilities behind. Or maybe that's what we want. Maybe that's what society wants. They want them to leave people behind. But when you leave people with mental problems, disability, and mental issues behind, you are cheating yourself. Society is cheating itself when they do that. It's cheating itself of getting to know a person, being able to know the benefit that they could bring to that business, to bring to their society. I was told by my high school counselors I am not college material. It would be too hard. I literally had to fight for every accommodation in high school. So I prepared myself literally to, all right, I'm ready for college. I'm going to fight through this. Imagine my surprise when I asked for accommodations and they said, "Okay, here you go. Do you need anything else?" They didn't want my money to go to school. They wanted me to succeed. They wanted me to graduate. Unlike my high school counselors that wanted to just give up on me because I was in special ed. I was in special ed from first grade. I repeated first grade. I was in there from first grade to 10th grade in a self-contained classroom, and from 11th to 12th in a resource room. Society interactions can be fraught with challenges for people with disabilities too, from awkwardness or avoidance on the part of non-disabled people to outright harassment or bullying to be maybe taken advantage of in a scam scheme. I am sad to say that I was part of that. I was ignorant, I was stupid, I was foolish. It can be difficult for people with disabilities to form connections and build relationships. This can lead to societal social isolation, which can have serious consequences for our mental and emotional well-being. We need to recognize that people with disabilities have the same needs and desires as anyone else, including the need for social connection and community. I want to share a powerful statistic that really drives home the impact of social norms on people with disabilities. Did you know that in the United States, people with disabilities are more than twice as likely to experience violence as compared to non-disabled people? This isn't just a coincidence. It's a direct result of harmful attitudes and biases that we perpetuate through our language, media, and cultural norms. How many people with disabilities or with mental health issues or something can be manipulated, can be egged on by people that they think that they can trust, that they think that there's a friend, to maybe smoking or smoking marijuana or doing some type of crime. I hope sharing my story is a powerful reminder that the barriers people face with disabilities are not just physical. They're also deeply rooted in our culture, attitude, and norms. As we've explored today, social norms have a profound impact on the lives of people with disability, from discrimination and lack of accessibility to harmful stereotypes and biases. These norms can be incredibly limiting, but I believe that by recognizing and challenging these norms, we can create a more inclusive and equitable society for everyone. Don't forget to click that bell for future videos and notifications. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and if you like this content and think someone else could benefit, share. And I will see you next time.
Don't you worry about a thing. You get what you're given, but it's never too late to spread your wings.